Hello guys, my name is Willy Ngugi, and in this video I'm going to show you how I created this WhatsApp UI with Flutter. So I was just focusing on the UI of WhatsApp, so I did not connect this up to any databases, and all the data that I use, I just created it manually in a different file, but I'm going to show you how I did it. So this basically is the chat app. It has the navigation over here with the communities and the chats. Here we have these our chats here. We can also filter them with unread, favorites, and groups, just like WhatsApp does it. And we also have these actions over here and the title and everything. So first of all, just to slide this over here, let us open the pubspec.yaml file. I used two external packages. I used the Flutter Riverpod for state management, and I also used the transparent image. Okay, so let us first of all start by opening the main.dat file. So since I used Riverpod, you have to wrap my app with the provider scope. What I just did here is that I changed the title to WhatsApp UI. I added the debug show checked mode banner and I set it to false to remove the banner here that appears over here. And I also changed the color scheme. I changed the seed color to colors.light green, and I also changed the brightness to brightness.dark. And I also set the home to main screen. Okay, so let me open the screens, and here is the main screen. So as you can see, the main screen is a stateful widget, and I set it to stateful widget so that I can be able to use the controller of my tabbed view, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what I did over here. So first of all, let me start by explaining what I did over here. So inside the scaffold, I started by creating the bottom navigation bar. So the bottom navigation bar is this one over here, which has the chats, updates, communities, and calls. And I set the current index to the current index. So what I did here is that I created a variable called current index. And this current index, why I created over here, is because I wanted to connect it to both what I tap here and the screen that I show. So this screen has, of course, since the screen, it has the scaffold. And inside the body of that scaffold, first of all, we have the tabbed view. And the tabbed view has the chat screen, it has the update screen, it has the community screen, and it has the calls screen. Okay. At the beginning, the current index is 0. So this one here, since the tabbed view takes children and children's are a list, so this first index here is 0, which is chat screen, and I want it to be chat screen. So I'm going to open this provider folder here. So this is just a simple state notifier provider that I have over here. So basically here I created the nav state notifier class, and I set the initial value to 0, and then I created this function here, set index, and this function here will be triggered when we tap on the bottom navigation bar here. We're going to set the state to the new index, which is the number of this bottom navigation bottom navigation bar item here. So I now set this navigation state provider, and I return the nav state notifier. So when we go back to the main screen, so here the current index, it's watching the navigation state provider. So initially it has the value of 0. Okay, and that value of 0 is what we want when we start this application to display the chat screen, because the chat screen is at the 0th index here. So when we tap on maybe the updates, as you can see here, we have the on tap. This on tap method is going to access our provider. It's going to call our set index function, and it's going to set the value to the value of these updates, the value of the index. So this integer that we created here, current index, it is going to be updated every time we click on that particular button. So I created these 4 buttons over here. Maybe I could have created a separate widget for each and every one of these bottom navigation bar items, and then I could just call it instead of repeating all the code. But for the purposes of this tutorial and for you to see what is happening behind the scenes, I decided to just create them over here. So the active icon, this sets how the icon is going to be displayed when it is selected. When we select chats, for example, as you can see, we have this green container here, but when we unselect it, we no longer have that container. And that is what I did I created this separate function over here that returns a widget, which is a container. So that container has this width and that height. If the current index reflects its own index, which means it is selected, so we are going to set the color of this container with the box decoration object and set it to the primary color. But if not, we set to colors.transparent. So that is the purpose of this active icon over here. I know that's a lot of talking and it may be a little bit confusing, but if you'd like me to create a video showing how I created this from scratch, be sure to comment down below and I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. So when we click on the first item, of course, we get the chat screen. So this is the chat screen over here. So let me open the chat screen. So the chat screen also here, as you can see, it's a stateful widget, and I made it a stateful widget because now the chat screen has these items over here. It has the all, unread, favorites, and groups. And to be able to control which screen is shown when we click on this, we need such a controller. And to be able to use such a controller, we again needed to extend the single ticker provider state mixin, and the control that we want is the tab controller. So I created a variable called selected index, which I set to 0, and I initialized this particular list over here. So the list, I called it categories, and it has 4 elements, which is the all, unread, favorites, and groups, which are these exactly that you see over here. And these controllers, I forgot to mention in the main screen, you need to initialize it inside the init state method, and you also need to dispose it. So this chat screen, it has a title. So the title is text WhatsApp, is this text over here, and it has actions. So actions are these items that appear over here on the side of the up bar, and that is the camera icon, the search icon, and also the movert icon. Okay, so inside the body we have a column. So the first element of the column is the list view builder. So this list view builder, I put it inside of a sized box, which I gave a height of 40. The items is our category. So category, don't forget, is this array that I created over here, that list. It has an item builder. So the item builder, I want to return a container for every element that we have in the list. When the container is selected, like for example, when this all is selected over here, we want to give it a different color, but when it is unselected, it has a different color, and also the text as well. We give it that color of green, but when it is unselected, it has a color of white 60. So I changed the scroll direction to axis.horizontal so that they can appear this way. Otherwise, they would have appeared this way, which isn't what we wanted. After this list view builder, we wanted to show the different screen with the tab bar view. So with the tab bar view, the tab bar view requires a controller, and we set the controller has for children, and the children are the all messages screen, the unread messages screen, the favorite screen, and the groups screen. So the all messages screen is here. So basically, what the all messages screen does is just returns a list view builder. So this list view builder has an item count, which is chats.length. So I created these models. First is the user. They have an ID, they have a name, and they have an image URL. And then we have the messages. So a message has a sender, the time it was sent, a string text, and also a boolean unread. And this boolean is used so that we can be able to build these containers here, depending on whether the message is read or unread. And so we created our user, the current user, different users here based on the user class. And I created a list of groups. I also created a list of messages. And I also created a list of group chats, and also different chats with the different people. So be sure to download this project on GitHub, and you can follow me on GitHub as well, by the way. The item count is the chats.length, and it is a list of messages. Basically, it's a list of messages, and the item builder, it's going to return a chat item for every item inside of this list. So I created a chat item widget. So let me open here on widget, go on chat item. Okay, so basically it returns a list style. So list style is a special type of widget in Flutter, which is already built so that you can have a leading, you can also a title, a subtitle, and also a trailing. So here you can see a title is going to be the sender name, which is, for example, here is Liam is the title. The subtitle is the message text. now we have that message over there. So leading, we have the image now, which is the image asset, the sender, the image URL, which has a height of 40, a width of 40, and a feet of big box with dot cover. And the trailing, first of all, we have the text to say the message was sent at what time. And now here, this is where we check whether the message is unread or not. So if the message is unread, we create this container here, and it has a child of 1. So this, I just hard coded this. Remember, I'm not using any database, so I just hard coded that one over here, and I gave it a style. But if the message is read, or if the unread variable is false, we just have an empty size box. So that was the chat item. Every item in this list is going to be displayed with the chat item here, the widget that we just saw here. So that was the all messages screen. The other message is the unread messages. So the unread messages screen, here it is. So here, first of all, what I did is to filter the message, and I filtered it with the where method, where the message dot unread is true. Okay. So so if the message is unread, I add it to that list. So the where creates an iterable, but you have to convert it to a list with the dot to list method, so that now this unfiltered charts returns a list. Because if we remove this here, for example, as you can see here, this is an iterable, but we want a list. So we have to use to say dot to list, so that it can return a list that we want. And now, since we have that list, we can just build a chat item for every item in that new list that we have created, called unread chats. It's just similar to like all chats. So this filtering here is the only difference. So the other thing was the favorites messages. So when I open the favorites messages, so unread, by the way, this is the unread screen. So for favorites, I did not create any functionality for the favorites, but basically WhatsApp has something like this. They have the image here, they have this text add to favorites, and these other text here, and also a green here called add to favorites. So I wanted to show how WhatsApp looks when some other things you don't have and some other things you have. So that's why I decided to leave this like this. Okay. So, and the final screen was the groups screen. So if I open the group screen here, so I can open it here. So I have a list called group chats. So this is a list of messages, and for every item in that list, I create another chat item. Because as you can see, these groups messages, they look like these chats with individuals. So for groups, it's not different. So we have this Manchester United lovers, friends, developers, family, computer science, just something stupid. So those were the different screens. So back to the main screen, the other screen was the updates screen. So if I open the updates screen, these are the WhatsApp status. It's like this if you don't have any contacts who have created the status, but when you have contacts that have posted some status updates, of course they appear here. So for this case, I just decided to leave it like this. But here, the updates is just a stateless widget. The scaffold, it has the app bar. So the app bar, it has the title called updates. We have the different actions here, the camera icon, the search icon, and the move icon. And the body has a container. So the container has the column, and the first item in the column is the text, and the row. So this row, first of all, has a stack. This is our profile image here. But if we want to have one widget on top of another widget, we have to use a stack, so that we can use this positioned widget to explicitly set where we want the other widget to be. This row, it has another column. So the first item in that column is the text which says my status, and the other is another text that says tap to add status update. After that, now we have 3 rows. The first row is the recent updates with an icon at the end. This is the second row called viewed updates. and the third row called muted updates. Okay, so that was basically the update screen. Okay, so we also have the community screen. Let me open the community screen over here and maybe open it in the app. So basically this screen here is centered. It's actually centered. If you run it in our real device, these ones are going to be centered, but they appear like this in this emulator for some reason. And I set them here with the main axis alignment of center and the cross axis alignment of center. And I also, by the way, have a WhatsApp community. You can be able to join it in the link in the description. So finally, we have the calls screen, which is just like this in WhatsApp. So it is just a basic, the app bar and the body with the different widgets here. Okay. So basically that is it. I did not add any more UI features from there. And so subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed already. Also, you can get the source code of this app on GitHub, and also follow me while you're at it. Also, of course, like this video. Also, you can comment on the comment section below and I'll be able to get to it. Also, if you have a project that you'd like me to do it for you or collaborate with you, you can contact me with the details that I've provided in the description of this channel. And you can also contact me directly with my WhatsApp number. I have provided my WhatsApp number there. You can be able to contact me there as well. Anyway, have a good day and I'll see you in the next video.